Welcome, bienvenido y bienvenidos to Ticket to Life. And I am Henrie, and I can't wait to tell you all that's been happening. Now, as you may know, all my podcasts and most podcasts are pre-recorded. And usually if I talk about a current event, it's no longer a current event. So I pledge that I will try my best not to pre-record 1 month in advance. Now notice that I did say try. I can't promise anything. So any current events, I know that some are still talking about the Coldplay concert. And technically that isn't a current event. You know, the affair not to remember, right? I know it was wrong, but my husband and I even did a reenactment. And I'm not sure if I'll post it on my Facebook account for you to see on Ticket to Life. But it was funny. It was funny. You shouldn't have let it happen. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had anything to make fun of that. But, well, again, they shouldn't have been doing what they were doing. So please, if you're going to have an affair, don't you know that you aren't supposed to get caught? And that everyone in the world is able to see what you have done or you're doing. I have a genius idea. Just don't do it. For crying out loud. Oh, wait. Time for my disclaimer. I am Henrie, and I'm not a therapist. I'm not a marriage counselor, a life coach, or a curandera. If you don't know what a curandera is, look it up. Curandera. That's how you can look it up. Break it up. Anyway, these are just my opinions. I do have a podcast, and it's called An Affair Not to Remember. And I can tell you it does not have a happy, it's not ending happily ever after. It's just not. It's episode 11. It's when I first started Ticket to Life, almost 4 years ago. And so it's kind of short because I used to be really short podcast that I used to make, and now you get me for 28 minutes. Yay! So thank you again for being here. I have not recorded a podcast, honestly, in about a month, because I pre-recorded so many for summer because things are going on. And as far as things that have been happening, we had so much rain in June. We did not get to enjoy being outside as much as we normally like to here in Texas, but it's July. No, it's the end of July. You're going to be listening to this the first week of August. I guess that isn't very current, is it? But anyway, so now it's nice and hot. You get in my husband's truck, and we got in there, and it said it's 113. Well, it was, and he parks it outside, so it was directly in the sun. But near 100 or 100 degrees, and that's the way it is. And it is funny that people who have lived in Texas all their life, and that includes me, we still complain, it's so hot. But I prefer the heat now that I'm older than the winters. So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope your life is going well for you right now. I hope good things have been happening to you. And I do want to talk about that affair, that whole thing that was caught on TV. That you're kind of like, what was going on? So some might just say, let me backtrack. Have any of you ever thought about having an affair? Now, if you're nodding your head yes, this podcast is for you. Or have you ever been in a relationship where the person you said I do to, for better or worse, has cheated on you? And if you're saying yes, then I am so sorry that you've had to go through that. Now, I know some of us have other, there's always, and I'm going to give you some examples of why people do this, but there's no really legitimate excuse as to why. Some might say it's just for the excitement of trying not to get caught at something, that you shouldn't be doing or thinking about. Do you remember when you were a kid? I remember when I was a kid. Do you all remember when we were kids and did something that we shouldn't have done and we don't get caught? The excitement and the emotions, I got away with it. But that's when we were kids and didn't know any better, because that's what you do when you're a kid, making dumb decisions. But when you get away with it, either it will make you feel excited or depressed because you knew it was wrong. And that's kind of how sin is. It's so exciting and enticing when we do something really wrong. It's like, well, it's just once. It's okay. No, it's not okay, people. As for a young adult or older adult getting or thinking that you are getting away with something such as an affair can make you feel the same way that you did when you were a kid. It was like that little feeling, and I'm sure we've all had that, I would think. But the reality of all of that is that we are adults now, and we do know right from wrong. Some might say that they have a good reason for having an affair, but is there really a good reason? Now, you may feel that things aren't what they used to be in your relationship. Well, last week's episode was on date night, so perhaps you need to make sure that you can continue something such as date night. It's not like, oh, I got the prize, I don't have to take them out and treat them as special as I did. And that goes for men and women. So here are 10 reasons that I have heard people say when or why they have had an affair. Now, this is for me, this is the one that really bugs me. We just don't talk anymore. What is the one thing I always say? I know I'm being a mom right now. It's communication. You have got to have communication in a relationship. If something is not right, then you need to talk about it. If you're having feelings about something, you need to talk about it. They'll just get mad. Well, yeah, maybe they will, but you're talking about it. Number 2 is there is no longer an attraction. They just don't look the way they did 2 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 40 years ago. Number 3, there's no intimacy. None. Well, if you're not attracted to the person, more than likely there's not going to be intimacy. Number 4, I'm not appreciated for all I do. Number 5, I am so bored and need some more excitement. Number 6 is comparing them with someone from the past. Keyword, past. Well, this used to do, like Joe Bob used to take me out every week, and you haven't taken me out in months. I've never known anyone by the name of Joe Bob, but I'm from Texas, so I'm sure there's a Joe Bob out there somewhere. Number 7, immaturity, and they just won't grow up. They're always playing video games. They're always hanging out with their friends. Okay. Again, communication. 8 is always looking at other men or women. Well, I can do that too if they can. It is okay for me. It's okay. I mean, I'm coming home with my husband. So if he looks at someone, I'm just like, okay. Of course, I turn around and look on. Then I'll make a comment. Oh, she's prettier. What the heck are you looking at? But I don't get mad because he's coming home with me. But this is the one that is going to be very interesting for many. And this is number 9. And social media. Where someone says, I got on social media and my ex wants to be my friend. And then you, being the nice person, says, well, go ahead. It's okay. You're never going to see them. They live in another country. Or do they? FYI, 1 in 3 divorces now begin with an online affair. And number 10, I need more sex and I can't get enough and they just don't satisfy my desires. Now, I don't know. Do you think those are legitimate reasons? Or do you think that those could have been taken care of had there been more communication? Now, if you've heard someone talking about these things, or have you thought about these things, you or they might be a cheater. Now, it's really easier to point fingers. We all know that. I read somewhere that one one of the things that some people say was, we had the best relationship, the best, absolutely. Things were amazing. Suddenly, my marriage was better than ever. Come to find out, their significant other was having an affair. And then sometimes the cheater will accuse the innocent person for cheating. And they're not cheating. They just, it's easier to point the finger at someone else. Or when someone takes better care of themselves. Like, wait, you haven't dressed up like that in years. Or they just literally stop talking. Or they start talking too much in a nervous way. Now, for those in the business world, all of a sudden, business trips are always occurring. Now, unexplained charges on your credit card or bank card. I had a friend, and she noticed that roses were being sent. And they weren't being sent to her. Hello, knock, knock. Something about if your gut's telling you something, you need to talk to someone. You need to talk to them, not someone. You need to talk to them and look them in the face. And hopefully you know them well enough that you'll know. And sometimes their friends may start acting different around you. And I don't want you to start picking some of these out and go home and start yelling at your significant other and say, I listened to Ticket to Life and Henrie says you're cheating. That is not what that means. And of course, you always have someone who has cheated in the past, and then you're like, can I trust them again? I will tell you, social media is so good, but yet so bad. It can be good for your business. It can be good for connecting with old friends, but be cautious who you connect with. Do you think that a relationship can be saved after someone has been cheated on? Honestly, do you think that? Well, you may not think so, but believe it or not, they can be. It will require a lot, and I mean a lot of effort and work and commitment from both to make this work. Even if it was only one time. Womp, womp. We all know that usually they say, it only happened once. And then you find out later, oh, wait, they were seeing them for how many months? Yeah. Now, some studies show that a whopping 57% of marriages survive infidelity. No, it won't be easy. And the hardest part will be to not continuously throwing it in their face that they cheated every day. I mean, I can't believe you did it. If you're willing to make an effort to save your marriage, then it will be hard, but it can happen. Now, again, the other thing is every time you have an argument, you can't throw it in their face either. Now, we all know that we can forgive because we have to forgive people no matter what they did, no matter what they say. We know that it's just the right thing to do to forgive people. As much as it's hard to do that and crushes your heart, if it's worth saving, you will forgive. But it will be a little tougher to forget. The first thing is to end the affair and make sure it's ended. Now, again, with these great devices, you can keep tabs on people, but do you want to do that for the rest of your life? Oh, look, I'm going to find my phone. I'm watching every step. Guess what? There are things as, what do they call them? Burner phones. Those phones that you hear drug dealers and crooks use all the time. So don't think you can track them because anyone can go buy one of those. And I'm not I don't want you going through drawers if you're suspicious. Just ask them up front. If they get mad, then okay, that might be a clue. But it is possible to work things out. Now, again, first thing first is to end the affair and make sure it's ended. And be an adult and know it was wrong and accept the responsibility. Now, for the couple, that you will need to find a professional counselor for marriage, and not the waitress at the local diner or your hairstylist to guide you through the reconciliation part. By the way, I love diner waitresses and I love my hairstylist. I might take some of her advice from her just a little bit. But anyway, rebuilding what you had. And honestly, do you really want to know everything they did? No, you just don't. It's just going to tick you off more. Remember, it takes two to make it work. And if you see that your marriage or your relationship isn't what it used to be, talk to them about it. Say, hey, maybe we should go see some counseling. And if you belong to a church, go seek counseling. Usually it's free at church. They'll get you some help. Now, you're going to have to be very patient because it will take a while to repair any damage in your relationship, but it can be done. And don't tell everyone on social media your business, or the people at school or office or store that you know or you work with. It's no one's business what is going on at your home. It's just not. Now, back to the couple at the concert that started this whole podcast. Okay, this happened several weeks ago, but it is still working in the news, or when you get on Google or whatever, their pictures are popping up, which I think, okay, people, let it go. But back to them. I don't think I could stay in a marriage like that, but that's my opinion. Shaming your spouse around the world, definitely shame on you. And to make things worse, someone saying to your child, wasn't that your dad on TV? That is definitely a jerk. Or a woman and says, wait, I know her, but that's not her husband. Definitely a sleaze. Okay, these are just my opinions, and I know I'm, but you know it's wrong. We all knew it was wrong. I'll stop now, and I know that we are not here to judge, but as I always said, we all judge in some way or the other, and I will be the first to say I do judge. I'm guilty of sin, I will tell you. But when you do something like that, especially what this couple did, and when it makes CNN, yes, it was on CNN. So if you don't want this type of stuff happening to you or anyone, you can't get mad at what you've done because you did it. And people making fun now, including myself. And you know it was wrong, but it only happened once. Then just don't do it. Be smart. Be smart. Don't do that to the person you said I do to. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, things just aren't the same anymore. A little flirtation is, I would maybe 30 years ago said, oh, that's okay. But now I'm like, no, I don't think so. Maybe because I am older. But no, because that little flirtation, no es bueno. So that is enough of scolding and trying to repair any broken marriages. Again, these are just my opinions. I just wanted to get it out there. But I wanted to tell you another thing about, I care so much about all of you that you have to be careful of the scammers. I know I don't know how many podcasts I have on scams, because there's the love scams. There's that ask, men and women and say everything they want to hear. And then what do? They ask them for money, and people have been out thousands of money. But there are so many things that you need to be aware of, but not just you. If you have parents or grandparents, you've got to talk to them about these things. So if they get like here in Texas, we randomly get text saying, "Oh, you owe money to TxDOT." That's the highway thing that takes care of our highways. You went on the tollway. Well, we hardly ever go on the tollway. You please click this button. Okay, no, that's not me. Just ignore it. And some people don't know that. So you've got to be able to stop those scanners, those hackers or whatever in their tracks, because the money you work so hard for can be taken in an instant. Some people have gotten claims from the IRS that the FBI and the police are going to come after you. Well, first of all, law enforcement doesn't do investigative work with the IRS. The IRS will hunt you down, but it will be the IRS. So remember, don't start sending money to these people if you get these. If you have, like on Facebook, this happened to me. If you find something on sale on Facebook, and I thought, oh, that's so cool. So I went in to purchase it. And when I did, I've done this twice, and I just, yes, I have learned my lesson. And I was able to see, wait, that was a scam. And I was able to get a hold of my credit card company and say, hey, I did this, blah, blah, blah. So they stopped it, and it wasn't a lot of money, but it doesn't matter. They had my credit card number. So anyway, they were able to stop it, and I was good. So that's the important thing. Just be aware, the typical thing of a grandparent's getting a text and they know it's, this is Billy, and I'm in jail. I need for you to send money. And you send money to Billy, and then it's a scam. They can find out who your grandchildren. I mean, you can get anything on the internet. I mean, I can find out where any of you live if I wanted to. Well, you'd have to give me your name and address, maybe, or maybe the state. I could find you. But at one point, you just need to know right from wrong. You just, so be careful when you're on the internet. I mean, my husband and I are actually on week 2 of a 28-day, can't believe we're doing it. It's a challenge. It's a 28-day digital fast. We are on week 2. I thought I was on my phone more. I know some days, like when I do podcasts, I want to make sure it's gone through, that it's going to be published. So I may check that a lot. On the day of, on Thursdays. But so the most I actually saw, now remember, I don't work. This is my fun job, podcasting. So one week it was an average of 8 hours, but this was like about a month ago. So I knew, I'm on it too much. So I have to admit, my average daily, which I was impressed, is only 5 to 4 hours, that's still a lot. But I mean, I was picking my phone up. I think your phone will tell you everything if you have a iPhone. How many times you pick it up? I picked up my phone over 100 times one day. I was like, why am I picking this up? So anyway, so we are doing a digital fast, and I went down 21% last week. So I'm going to keep trying. And it is basically, you can use it for other things. The fast is more than likely. We're doing a workbook with it through Westside Family Church in Kansas. And it's very interesting, but it makes you open your eyes and see how much we use our digital technology. But you can use it for work, and luckily it breaks down utilities, like if you're on the phone, or we like the Hallow app for praying and stuff. So anyway, and Ascension, that's a good one too, the Ascension app to pray. But anyway, just again, watch the cheaters around you that you think, if you notice something in your relationship, confront them. You should be able to confront your significant other and say, hey, what's going on? And it will take a lot of work to repair that if both of you are willing. You may get some lousy excuses of, you don't treat me the way you used to. Well, again, it takes two. And I hope that if any of you have had a broken heart because of an affair, I am so sorry that you had to do that, because broken hearts hurt. They hurt really bad. The other thing is, please be careful, be aware of scammers. And especially if you do have elderly parents or friends, help them. Make sure that they are not being scammed by someone, because we, again, have worked very hard to get where we are in life, and we will continue to work at doing that. I also want to let you know that next week we are going to be talking about something for parents who have teens anywhere from 14 to 16, 14, 17, or even 13. It's just some educational things that I didn't know, because, my kids are adults now and things have just changed totally with this technology stuff. So next week we're going to be talking about what kids are doing. So I just want to tell you, thank you so much for listening. I hope I didn't offend anyone, but if I did, I'm sorry. But am I? Yes, I am. I don't want to upset anyone, but just know that I am so thankful that you listen to Ticket to Life. I hope I have helped some with the many episodes that I have about random things. But I do care for all of you listeners, and I do pray for you, all of you listeners. I pray that you have a good day, a good night. I pray for peace in your home, in your life, because you deserve prayer. And the most important thing is, you're not alone in anything in life. Someone is going through something that you may be going through right at this moment. And know that people love you, people care for you, and most importantly, God loves you. So, on that note, I want to tell you thank you again for listening. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day or evening. And please, please, please go find your blessings. They could be right in front of you. They could be in your backyard. They could be at your job, because you are one of my blessings. Thank you for listening. And until next week, this is Henrie.